Welcome to the show both feared and revered by man and beast, the heliosblog. Today, Sneako tells Myron and Nick his true thoughts on Jon Zherka. Let's get into it.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
To burn bridges, and it's starting to like piss me off that like Zherka's talking, like one of his major talking points is just talking about Tate all the time for not talking about something, because like in the overall scheme of thing, like this doesn't benefit the majority of people's lives. Like when you talk about the Matrix, it's a good amount of guys who are depressed and in simping in relationships they don't want to be in jobs they were told that they're supposed to follow. We even established this in this stream.
Is he still here?
No, he left. But that there's a lot of people who are chasing things that other people tell them they should like, even though they don't actually want to do it. And
Yeah, right. Okay.
that's why a lot of people live unhappy lives. And so how do you like make people happier? A lot of this stuff, foreign policy and like Middle Eastern, a lot of that won't change the normal person's life. The best way to immediately affect someone's life is with a positive message, is with a lot of what they're talking about. And they've had an undeniable impact on the male youth. And he undermines that all the time, and it's just...
I don't understand. Is Sneako trying to sound like... Is he trying to sound wise? Because all he's saying is... It just sounds like crap to me. Sorry. Okay, one sec. We're just going to skip to when all of them are here.
I do it every day. It's just too much. And now all the chat's on your side, and I'm going to take the L's. Now I'm the gay Sneako. There we go. How you doing, Myron?
I'm chilling, man. I just woke up, guys. So sorry, I'm so behind here. Yeah.
He sleeps on Fed time. He just.
I thought you were gonna fucking start the stream later because since I wasn't coming. Before.
No, I started it early. I've been streaming since 7 o'clock.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay. I thought you were gonna start it later since I didn't come. So, but yeah, I literally woke up and I was like, oh fuck. And
you guys are supposed to start streaming at 11.
Well, I texted him right away. As soon as I texted both of you guys when I woke up.
I didn't see it until just now.
I literally, as soon as I woke up, I texted both of y'all.
You don't think you have the energy to like get a coffee and do the other one?
This is boring as hell. Okay, let's skip ahead. Sorry.
All that, but not on Rumble.
Let's just keep the stream going. I don't give a shit either way.
We are about to close out. We've been going for 4 hours.
Oh, okay, all right, then that's fine. Minutes, if y'all gonna close out, that's cool.
Well, okay, let me ask you a little bit of a debate review. Who do you think won?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty. I would say Nick took that one.
Let's go.
Destiny did make some good points, but
what good points did he make?
Well, what I will say is that I'm trying to think here. Let me think of a good point that he made.
I didn't really see any. He asked a lot of questions and then tried to get Nick triggered, but I don't think he had any good moments, like anything that's clippable or any good points that Nick didn't have to concede on anything.
Yeah, no, he actually ended up agreeing with him on a lot of points.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling because I want to see...
reflecting a lot. Not necessarily, or he'd ask Nick a question. Nick would go.
I'm trying to find Zherka.
And then, I mean, I think everybody knows. I mean, I called it. Like, I was like, yeah, Nick definitely won that debate. What I would say is that Destiny's very good at like shifting the goalpost and deflecting at times. And then I thought it was crazy when I saw he was using his phone. I was like, And then Nick was still making points. I was like, you know what, fuck it, let him use his phone and see what still happens. So.
We looked it up. He was like banning people on Discord and banning people from his chat like during the debate.
Oh,
like,
really?
Moderating. Right. He was also on a call beforehand and getting sources from people, but
yeah, Nick won. I mean, definitely he won. I mean, because the geopolitics stuff is you can't beat this guy. I mean, what did we talk about before?
Oh, here. Okay.
Try to debate someone.
Here it is.
There's no need to burn a big hungry man. There's no need to burn bridges with Tate right now. He's wrong though. Myron is in the house. You three are late. Yeah, there's no reason to burn bridges. And it's starting to like piss me off that like Zherka's talking, like one of his major talking points is just talking about Tate all the time for not talking about something. Because like in the overall scheme of thing, like this doesn't benefit the majority of people's lives. Like when
is Sneako trying to say that that aspiring to be like Tate is bad? Is that the implication here?
you talk about the Matrix, it's a good amount of guys who are depressed and in simping in relationships they don't want to be in jobs they were told that they're supposed to follow. We even established this in this stream.
Is he still here?
No, he left. But that there's a lot of people who are chasing things that other people tell them they should like, even though they don't actually want to do it. And that's why a lot of people live unhappy lives. And so how do you like make people happier? A lot of this stuff, foreign policy and like Middle Eastern, a lot of that won't change the normal person's life. The best way to immediately affect someone's life is with a positive message, is with a lot of what they're talking about. And they've had an undeniable impact on the male youth, and he undermines that all the time. And it's just like always on my. It's very like I think it comes from a place of jealousy, but.
So Zherka is jealous? I don't get it.
I mean, he calls me a faggot for saying that, but what do you think? Like, I've told Zherka, like, I think you're just doing this out of jealousy, and this, especially at this time, it's just not necessary.
Well, you know, it's always it's always a sucky situation when two people you get along with don't get along with each other. But it is what it is, I guess. Like, they're not gonna, you know, from this point, they're never gonna talk or be friends.
Yeah,
so it is what it is. Like, my thing is just like, hey, when you're on F&F, you know, try not to talk shit about him, and it would be the same way if I was on there. I mean, Tit would never even mention him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know, if anyone like insults one of my buddies in front of me, I'm like, yo, bro, like, come on, man, take it easy. So that's what it is, unfortunately, in the social media.
What is Zherka trashing Tate? Is that the idea? And the other way around?
Media world.
Well, what have you noticed about the Groypers? I mean, you have a meetup coming up on July 16th, right?
Yep.
Are there any more tickets available?
No, we're sold out. We might sell some more tickets at the door.
Okay.
Depending on what venue we get, but yeah, I mean, as of right now, it's sold out. You can come if you want. We're doing a rally up in West Palm Beach. We did one back in DC in December or in February.
Yesterday's show is an indicator that Myron is going to be as big, if not bigger, than Rogan.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. It's been a lot of high energy this year. It's like it started with Yay 24, and it's going through this. I feel like it's the same energy. It's the introduction of Rumble. It's Elon buying Twitter, and then I think it was Yay 24. It's like the technology and that development is now making the consciousness rise up. Like now, these are the topics that are front page topics. Everyone's talking about them. So I think Keith Woods, he put out a really good thread saying this is like a second wave. Like 16 was very similar. 2016, it was the same thing with Twitter blowing up with Trump and the election. And 4chan, everyone was getting red pilled. Everybody was learning the truth. They had to shut it down. And they
Indeed.
were successful for like 5 years. They effectively shut down the conversation, and people were self-censoring. People that weren't were getting banned. And this is the first time it feels different in like 7 years that people are able to actually speak their minds. Yeah. And once again, now the truth is going viral. You know, it's like contagious. So,
well, that's the thing, right? Truth is most beautiful undraped. That's the quote I have above all the time. So, because I believe it. By Schopenhauer. You can only hide the truth for so long, right?
So we're just riding that energy. We're rallying about it, and it's outside of the Turning Point conference. The Turning Point, they're doing their conference. We're doing ours.
Man, I was gonna say this too real quick because I was catching a little bit of the stream before I came here. With the whole thing with Kanye West and Alex Jones situation, I forgot to mention this during our interview. Is that they clipped that part when he said "I love Hitler," but what they conveniently clipped out was the part where he said "I love both Zionists and I love Hitler. No one can tell me who I can love." Right. So
indeed,
I thought that was very disingenuous by the media.
Of course,
to do that, to clip it and make it look like he said "I love Hitler," when in reality he was trying to make a point that no one can tell him who he can love, and he was saying, "As a Christian, I love everyone." That includes
right. So the idea is, you don't get to tell me what I can or can't love, which is actually making the bid for free speech effectively.
Zionists and Hitler. And it's crazy to me how they spun that, ran with that, and no one has corrected it. It's crazy to me.
You've never heard, or you probably have heard, it's much easier to create bullshit than to refute it. So, there it is.
Remember watching that interview, and I rewinded it back. I was like, wait, hold on. What did he just say? Wait, hold on. I vividly remember running it back 3 times. I was like, wow, they did not put that part in.
Right.
And let's be honest. When people see clips on Twitter, very rarely do they go watch the full interview, find that exact part,
almost never,
look and see what was actually said in the full context of that conversation, and then come to a conclusion.
No, never. Right, and then basically that's what 2023 is, right? Like clip wars. You know, you take one little clip of what someone said for 30 seconds in a 4-hour conversation, and then that's who they are. They said those 5 words in a row one time. I got you. Ha ha.
Never. Most Americans will never do that. Most people never do that because we live in a retard TikTok economy.
Exactly.
So I thought that was like probably one of the biggest smear campaigns I've ever seen. They spun.
Ye loves Hitler.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, like he genuinely loves Hitler. It wasn't.
No. Hold on. See, this is what I mean. During the conversation at that.
So you see, Sneako is, again, whatever direction the wind blows, that's the direction that Sneako believes. So he's just, one day he's Muslim, next day he's Christian, one day he's, one day is RP, next day he's a censor guy, just whatever.
Exact moment.
Are you talking about Alex Jones?
Yeah, on Alex Jones. On that interview when he had the mask on, right? He was talking about being a good Christian and loving everyone equally. Then he mentioned, I love Zionists and I love Hitler. No one can tell me who I can love.
But
that's
does
pretty
like
much what
Hitler.
he said. Yeah, no, I get that. But I get that. But what I am saying is that they tried to spin it as if he only said that.
Right.
Which let's be honest here, saying I just live Hitler versus
that would be insane.
I love all people, Zionists and Hitler. That's much different.
The quote was,
yeah, the point was actually not who he specifically said that he likes. The point was, I get to choose who I love, and you cannot tell me who I love. I love everyone. It's actually a bid for free speech.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. Like it was a pretty bold statement. It wasn't. I don't know if it was misconstrued that much.
No, it was, bro. It was.
You think it was really? They really.
I watched that part like 3 times. Anyone in here in the chat, y'all know what I'm talking about. Watch that part back.
I'm talking about like conversations I've had with him and.
He does love him.
Hold on.
We got there. He was drawing swastikas in his notebook.
Okay.
No joke.
Okay. Well, remember, y'all have met him personally. I'm saying from someone who never met him, only saw that interview. You guys got to remember, I'm talking from a regular person's perspective. Mm-hmm. You guys know other information that the rest of us aren't, and that's gonna, influence your perception to a degree. But for people that don't know that have never hung out with him in person like y'all have, I'm saying off that interview alone, he didn't say anything crazy like that, especially when you play it in full context. Mm-hmm. Now, you guys are giving me some other info I didn't know about, but in that conversation...
he was tweeting swastikas right before he got banned.
But with the 6 point
With, yes. But
yeah, but I was talking about strictly the Alex Jones interview. Because that...
I see.
That's what started it. That's like what started when they were like, what the hell? He said he loves Hitler. Like, and they ran with that and said, he's fucking crazy, blah, 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 blah. And they only put that part. Because I remember I was on Twitter.
You know what's funny is in a previous video, I actually said that I thought he went insane. But apparently not. Apparently the clip that I watched was also taken out of context. Hilarious.
And they were like, that's all they played is that part.
Right,
I
but
love Hitler.
He's also had some sort of infatuation with Hitler for a long time. Like there was the speculation that he wanted to name his album just Hitler in like 2018. That was proven true?
I believe that was real. I mean, based on conversations I had with him.
Yeah, but see, y'all know shit that I don't know and other people don't know.
So he knows him personally. Wow. Imagine knowing one of the world's billionaires personally.
So like
eccentric billionaire too.
Wait, like for me, I'm going strictly off the AJ interview. Strictly off the AJ interview. They definitely spun it to make him look crazy. And then, I mean, do y'all want to play it right now? We could play it right now.
He was there.
We could literally play it now if y'all don't believe me. I remember because I rewind that shit like 3 times and I was like, wow, they definitely made a smear campaign on this.
What's your take?
I think that you're just not allowed to say that in any context. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you think that they spun that out of context?
Well, that's the point, right? The point they're trying to make is there are some statements that you're never allowed to make, which means that there is no actual free speech. Though, truth be told, you're allowed to say stuff, but there are consequences to what you say, right?
I understand what you're saying, because what Myron is saying is he said love everybody, and what people took it as was he means he hates Jews, but he never said I hate Jews.
He said he loves Zionists.
I love Zionists and I love Hitler. I love everyone.
In the same sentence.
Right. So I get what you mean, that he used, like, they sort of took out a very important
Not sort of.
part of the message.
A critical part.
But, like...
He was trying to
On purpose.
illustrate, I don't hate anybody.
Right.
That's what he was trying to illustrate with making that comment.
But in addition to that, he also, like, particularly does like Hitler, because he said,
okay,
because Alex Jones said, like, so you're saying you like the uniforms, and he's like, no, there's a lot of things that I love.
That was the
about
context,
Hitler.
yeah.
Wait,
So Alex Jones was trying to give him like a way out.
A way out. Okay, but again, like, what would I what would I say about this? There are many people that are fascinated with that point in history, right? Because it was a social engineering experiment gone horribly wrong, right? That isn't to say that you like the person that spearheaded the movement, but anyway, all right.
Oh, you like the aesthetic and the outfits. It's like, no, there's a lot of things that I love.
Okay, but hold on. All right. Let me play
It's not the uniform.
We're gonna stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
let me play devil's advocate. And then he actually went into how he built railroads, how he pulled Germany out of
Invented the phone.
out of
Is
a
that
depression.
stuff true?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
After
What do you mean it's not true? This guy doesn't know anything about history. How do you attack France from multiple different angles without railroads when you have tanks? Think about it. Okay, now the tanks themselves, they're on rails, right? Effectively, right? The way they move. But tanks need oil. You need people that go in cars. Those cars need oil. Those people need food. How do you transport those things? Railroad is very efficient. No. Person can never do any good things. Bad person. Think about how stupid that is.
After World War
The
I.
microphone, but did the Nazis invent railroads?
No, of course not. This kid is an idiot. My lord, you're stupid. Oh my god. Whew. And this guy makes more than 6 figures? Lordy lord, if he can do it.
Said that the highway, that they invented the highway.
Did the Nazis invent highways?
Well, they built the Autobahn. People consider that
They
like.
didn't invent highways, like just long streets.
I mean, yeah. Again, you could kind of equivocate about it, but he was talking about the national highway.
Yes, it's a long street that's wide, that's made to go fast. It's not like a super fancy concept. It's a railroad for cars. That's what it is. If you really think about it. That's what a highway is. It's long and doesn't have many zigs and zags so that you can, have efficient movement over long distances. Similar to how a train moves. It's not like rocket science to think of this idea, right? But, and of course their purpose was transportation of war machinery over long distances, right?
System that Germany built. They invented the Autobahn.
Which the United States ended up, I think, under Eisenhower beginning.
50s, yeah.
The whole interstate system that we have now with Interstate 95, etc. We didn't have an interstate system back then. So here's the thing. This is controversial shit, right? But what he meant by that is he built after World War I, the Versailles Agreement was in place and fucked up Germany.
Yup. The taxes were insane, leading to hyperinflation. To buy a bread was like a bucket of money. Kids were literally, this is not an exaggeration, they were literally playing with money because it was that worthless. That is not an exaggeration. I did not make that up.
They literally were in one of the worst depressions. He comes to power, pulls them out of the depression, creates railway systems, creates a highway, all these infrastructure.
Not only this, but also mobilizes the people towards a common goal, a common enemy, right? Which actually was not invented by the Germans, by the way. It was actually invented by, does anyone know in the audience? The ancient Greeks. It's called scapegoating.
Creations that create jobs.
It's not my fault. It's not any of us. No, this specific population, it's their fault. That concept. Which is obviously bullshit. Because again, the world is not black and white, which that statement implies. It is in shades of grey. But most people, like Sneako, are too stupid to know the difference. And it's very good at getting the average person to move in the direction that you want. Away from pain and towards pleasure.
Boom.
Also, this sounds awful, but it is a way to redistribute wealth as well. You know, a la revolutionary France. You know? Kill the king! Take all his money and redistribute it. Who suffered? Well, of course the royal family did. The monarchy, the monarch system. Who benefited? Well, the average person, really not that much. But people a little bit above average, oh, they benefited a lot. Because before you had to be gentry to get that money. You see?
Next thing you know, Germany is a world power. They're out of depression. Economy is back on fire. And he did a lot of good for Germany during that time. Obviously, he did atrocious things as well. Indeed. But I think what Ye was trying to say is that, he did good as well. He did bad, but he also did good for his country. Now, are we trying to, alleviate him of responsibility? No. But if you're going to acknowledge all the bad, cool. But it would be disingenuous to not also acknowledge that he did create a bunch of infrastructure for Germany, which we even copied down the road. Like we started our interstate highway system based off of that model.
Yeah, we took all their science.
Again. Yeah, and then took their scientists too to work on the Manhattan Project of all things. Which, oh, by the way, America's totally not bad, guys. Promise. Totally not. They're only capable of doing good, guys. Anyway.
Scientists. Our NASA came from Project Paperclip, which was that was the Nazi V2 program. But the thing is, and I'll just add, because that was the InfoWars, but based on conversations that we had before, during, and after, like what Ye thinks about Hitler is that Hitler was like the Kanye of politics, basically. Like he regards Hitler as like because he would always say like, how can we make it like Hitler level? How can we make it like on that level? But it was interesting because there was always a tension. Like he would tell me, show me like what Hitler did for Germany because I want to do that for America. He'd say,
So what he's saying is, take the whole country in the palm of your hand and spin it the way you want.
Show me the most severe policies that Hitler had. Then he said, now show me policies that are the weakest policies, like the softest that everyone can agree on. And so it was always this like tension. And so the thing is, and this is the real red pill that people don't want to hear, Hitler, for better for worse, is an iconic figure in world history. Like Stalin. Cast a long shadow over the history of the world for the last 70 years, maybe the most important figure of the 20th century. And a guy like Ye, who is an artist, who is applying an artist sensibility to politics, is going to look at the icons, the symbols, the hype. They're going to look at... Yeah, they had the uniforms and symbols, right? Because, and actually, those weren't original either. You know who had that original symbolism that they used? The Roman Empire, with the eagles and the standard and all that. And the red, the crimson banners, that's the Roman Empire. Actually, what's funny is that Germany was called the Holy Roman Empire for a long time. The triumph of the will, people greeting... This is very distracting, by the way. They're going to look at the people greeting Hitler, going through the street, flying into the airport on his own personal plane, and they're going to say, there's something striking and moving. It's really funny because Sneako's totally shut off here. Like, he's totally not listening at all.
He's just worried what people think, and he's moving the chat out of the way.
Compelling about that, and how can I match
see your
that
point.
energy? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no,
So-
I absolutely see your point.
But it's not just the aesthetics, because what I think Ye likes about Hitler is that Hitler is fundamentally a national figure, a nationalist figure. He is a guy who made his own country great. I think that's why people compare him to Trump,
What do you want? Let me see there.
Other way around.
because he's a nationalist.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, a lot of moving around here. It's hard for me to keep my train of thought. A lot of
ready, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, only in America.
Oh yeah, because he wants to be on the computer. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think the other thing too is that as a musician, he's not necessarily he's not a podcaster, right? So when he says things, he's not going to articulate himself to the same level as a
Right. A person who's purposely choosing their words to avoid bullshit.
a person that talks every day on a microphone, that gives commentary, etc. So he's going to say things that might not necessarily explain all the way why, but you kind of have to be able to read between the lines, because when you're an artist, you don't have to be as
explicit as a podcaster. No, that's absolutely true. I didn't even consider that, but he's right. Okay. Let's end the video there. I really didn't expect the conversation to be about that. Really, I should have a different name for this video, but whatever. You get what you get, guys. You get what you get. I got tricked by the video title as well. All right. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all the notifications, drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian R, Tom M, Bobby, Dylan, Renaissance Press, and Brian. Shout outs to you, most recent Patreon subscriber. Thank you. My Patreon can be found at patreon.com/theheliosblog. You can buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. If you want coaching, message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. I'll slot you right in. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.